Destiny! Destiny! No escaping, that's for me! Destiny! Destiny! No escaping, that's for me! Destiny! Destiny! No escaping! Mom!
Dr. Frankenstein, wake up!
What is it?
You were having a nachtmare.
I knew you'd be surprised! Oh, hello! My name is Chris Quinlan, and tonight is a coordinational nachtmare. Dear me. Now what I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm keeping everything just Doris, no triggers tonight, just straight up. And what I would like to talk about is some of our simple, what we call coordination and coordinational points. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to do other things. Now when I'm doing it, what's starting to happen, I've got this little, imagine you're marching down the street. That kind of thing. And then, the ping of destiny. Can you just gaffer that down, Chris? Thanks. Then what happens is, what I'm talking about, I don't want to be, too scatterbrained, but what happens is we've got 2 hands, 2 feet, hopefully a brain in the middle, I hope. And one of the things that I've talked about on the show in the past is the coordinational grid. If we take the humble single-stroke roll, what can you do with it? Well, you've just got right, left, right, left. Do you see? Hands only. You can do it with your feet. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I've got a bit of a click on my left kick pedal down there, but that's all right. And then you can have right side. Do you see? Now what happens then is it's still a single stroke roll, but it's right hand, right foot. Pretty basic, I would think. And then the left side. And then you can have diagonal, so you can have right hand, left foot. I'll do the hi-hat so you can hear the difference. And then left hand, right foot. And then you put it all together. A lot of you know already that I seem to be the child of my time, coming up in the times of Sabbath and Purple and Led Zepp. What drummers? We're talking about Bill Ward, we're talking about Ian Pace, and we're talking about good old John Henry Bonham, always. There's plenty more, and I've talked about plenty more as well. But one of the things that was happening, the constant hi-hat, right hand, diagonal, coordination. What I'm going to do now is something a bit different. There's a rock beat there. Now what I'm doing there is I'm keeping the right hand as a basis, snares off, and deliberately tuned that way so it's tonal. And then what happens is I drop in the left hand for colour. Ping of destiny.
Destiny!
Destiny.
Destiny!
Sorry,
No
young Frankenstein.
escaping, that's for me! Destiny! Destiny! No escaping, that's for me! Destiny! Destiny! No escaping! Mom!
Wake up! You're having a nachtmare.
It's all coming there. There's a recurring theme. The ping of destiny is that solo there. Ping of destiny. Of destiny. Splash hats. And that's what happens there, you see. Now what I'm doing is something that can be recurring. Now, who remembers things like spirograph? Do they still have it? I used to, the thing where you put the biro and then you go around in circles, you get all these beautiful, sort of, what do you call them, mandalas, I think, or something like that, where you have these beautiful concoctions coming around. So the thing about it is you could be doing a square. Now for this I'll turn the snares on, and one of the things is I'm doing the square, I'm doing 4 up. Single stroke roll, bring in the left hand, but keep the left hand on the snare. You gotta know its limitations. Can you hear the... And then you get this. So you're starting to get a single stroke roll. But as soon as you move to different sounds, get it? Got it?
Good.
There it is. All right. I'll take them out again. And then what happens then is the coordination of things I'm doing in different layers. Do you see? It's like that. So we're starting with the single stroke roll. And then what can happen is you start using the sounds of your drum kit, such as if we're just doing the humble snare drum, but snares off, you have the normal tap. I've talked about ghost notes and stuff in previous episodes. You can have an accent, so you can have timbre changes, see? Rim. And it almost sounds like someone else is going ping, ping, like that, you see? And all of a sudden, you've got a couple of sounds. And then what happens is, what are you going to do with the sounds, you see? And then when you're doing coordinational business, notice I'm starting with a single stroke roll, but there's other things happening. I'm bringing in the left hand for color, putting in a drag, if you like that. However, the humble right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Another recurring theme. I like my continuity in the sense that I might be drawing on something that I did 5 episodes ago and then joining it together with something I did 2 episodes ago and something that I did last year. I don't know. What it is it's all there, like the spirograph. It's all... There's a kind of a thing, like if I'm going to do this and I've got that sound, that'll lend itself to something else, you see. So what starts to happen is if I'm going to come back to the right, left, left. So right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. Triplet. The 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Put it on the snare drum. Ping. Coordination, maybe I could do the triangle. That lends itself to 3, 4. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 8. Why not I do the aforementioned square? So I could go... So what I've got there is I've got a 3, because I've got 3 bits, and then I've got 4 bits. So the common denominator is 12, you see, before it comes all together. So what starts to go on is that also I'm doing left-left. I'm doing the same thing, but now it sounds like it's a shuffle. Now with the crashes, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dance to that. You could. There it is. And then what starts to happen, I'm doing very basic things here, in the sense that I'm just doing right, left, left, like that. But it's a little bit like the J curve, you know, that they use in economics and all sorts of stuff. I had it referred to me the other, we use that at work, you know, sort of more with one of my students. He said, well, we call it the hockey stick. I go, it's perfect. The J curve. I got it. I'm not sure. I think I've got it. And you're off. You see. So what starts to happen is sometimes the trickiest things you hear are sometimes 2 simple things put together. You see.
Can you get it?
Get it?
Got it.
Got it.
Good.
And what happens? You got right, left, left. What's so hard about that? What's so hard about cacophony? And what happens? What's so hard about this? What happens if I do this? This is easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them together. Oh, what's going on? Triplets, right, left, left. Ping, 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 ping. Ping. So what happens then? There it is. Now the big thing about that is rudiments, and you've got to get the left hand going. So, practice pad time. But one of the other things you want to be able to do is another thing that I often talk about is the vertical and the horizontal, because when you're using your beloved practice pad, which I've talked about in the past, there's also the time when you want to be able to split the sounds without getting all mucked up, which I've talked about just a couple of episodes ago. You see, I'm trying to marry things up over what I've done, say, the course of the last however many episodes and all this. So when I go over to the left side of Big Ass like that, I can take requests. It lends itself to, 2 lines like that a little bit. And here, the way that I've got Doris set up here is typical, just a little bit bigger, but anyway. But what happens is that lends itself to angles. And I really first gleaned that very early on when I started to... There was one thing, like back in the 70s, I always loved Billy Cobham back in the day, and Mahavishnu Orchestra business. I've already talked about the big 3 as far as our beloved Bill Ward, Ian Pace and John Bonham, but Billy Cobham there, who predated Steve Gadd, who I've done a lot of work with. But when I actually got to meet the man when I was going around town sending myself bankrupt filming everyone, and their gigs and all that stuff, Billy Cobham came out. And I could work out he was doing triangles here and little lines and squares there, because he's got the two bass drums, two tom-toms on each one, and then the two floor toms. So he had plenty to work with, that kind of thing. And I can see his angles. And they'd been happening before, do you see? So what happens is when I'm getting into this kind of coordination, what you're also doing is taking something fairly simple. At this stage, I've really done just two rudiments. I've just done a single stroke roll. And right, left, left. Dinner's ready.
Destiny!
Sorry.
Destiny!
But that's what goes
No
on. Now, if I
escaping,
just
that's for
kept
me.
to the single stroke roll. Running and a running and a running and a. Frank Zappa, Sheik Yerbouti, a running and 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 a running. I'm so cute. I'm so cute. Terry Ted was Hello, help. There you go. Sorry, that was straight off the cuff. A running and a run. I have this loose theory that no matter what speed you're playing at, what tempo, no matter what two tones you have, that kind of thing, somewhere there's going to be a song that has that in it. Somewhere. And that's why I went to Sheik Yerbouti, Frank Zappa. I'm so cute. And that kind of thing, because it was like something like that. Nearly. We all came down to Montreal. Oh, it's a Nachtmare of a lesson here tonight.
They got it. What is it? We're having a Nachtmare.
Now, when you're starting to do things like that, and where have you gone, microphone? Thank you very much. Oi! It's a technical Nachtmare. But what starts to go on is when you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to try and be melodic. You want to try, when you do get onto something, you want to make it musically adept, and you want to make it mean something by putting it into some kind of format, whether it's some kind of standard song, A, B, A. So that ranana could be the A section. You can do lots of different things, you see. And you start to think really like the drumming version of verse, chorus, all sorts of stuff, you see. And then it becomes a cohesive whole. Who swallowed a dictionary? And then when you start doing that and you've got your hi-hat maybe splashing, you've got it just playing like that, you could start to put a few offbeat things. You see, what happens with, say, John Bonham, because he loved that, I talk about it all the time, nearly every episode. But when you're doing that, it lends itself to what is loosely called a reverse two-feel. A typical two-feel, just think Pink Panther. Dead-an, 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 the Dead Ant song. But if you do it backwards, instead of boom, chick, it's chick, boom, you start to get one, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, whatever you want to do. And if you got that going, lots of things start to happen, you see. There you go. Wow! Bit scatterbrained tonight, but I hope you're getting something out of it. It's Coordinational Nachtmare. And what starts to happen is I'm going to go back over. I'm going to do a bit of revision. There you go, with the time I have left, which is not much. And what happens here is that you could start with a single stroke roll. Feet, do your duty. Ooh. Okay, and then you can have right side. Left side, hi-hat. Diagonals. 6 ways. Then do them with the left hand start. You've got a dozen different ways. Then you start moving horizontally. You can do a square. Triangle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Put them together. Do the right, left, left. I'll slow it down. Oh, what did I do that? Ping of destiny. Ping, ping. I went the other way. Oh, dance to that. And then what happens? You can do different things. Now I did that. Now, a lot of people will call that a polyrhythm, and you'd be sort of correct, but it's actually more a polymeter. Now, okay, I talk about this often. A polyrhythm are 2 rhythms put together, but a polymeter is 2 time signatures put together. So I'm doing 5 here, right? But 3 here. Do you see? Get it?
Got it. Good.
And that's what happens. So what this is all about is a Coordinational Nachtmare. And what you want to be able to do is to actually sort of sit down and take the humble single stroke roll. Ping. Can you gaffer that, Chris? I like it a lot. Bring in the right, left, left. I hope you enjoyed it. It went somewhere there, but I hope you got something out of it. Now, when I'm talking things like coordination and all this, it's all the basic stuff, of course it is. But I thought I'd do something a bit different, you see. And really rudimentally, do you notice I've just done a single stroke roll, really, and right, left, left. But everything else wrapped around it and taking the sounds that you have. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, boy. My name is Chris Quinlan, and this is Melbourne Musos Live, and I hope you got something out of that. And there we go. And thank you for watching. Now I suppose it's time for a nice glass of coordinated.